eBay's dead. You ain't making no money. It's over.
All these people are talking about wanting to sell you a lifestyle. We're here to sell you a life.
Selling on Amazon has absolutely changed our lives.
Yo, so guys, I'm Rico.
I'm Dan.
And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk all about that Amazon life, baby, the Amazon FBA, that private label dropshipping, e-commerce in general, a little bit of that eBay and Shopify. We're actually going to talk about eBay today, guys.
Yeah, we've got some bad news.
It ain't pretty.
Got some very bad news.
For all you regulars, though, you already know what time it is, baby. It's time to get right into it.
Get right up in it.
Yeah. So, eBay, guys. As you guys know, eBay dropshipping is taking a hit. It's been taking a beating over the last few months. People sponsored...
the last few years in many ways.
Yeah, but that is neither here nor there. You know, your sponsored listings aren't getting any traction. You're getting no impressions. You're not making any sales. People's stores are dying off right and left. You guys can see it in any freaking dropshipping group. Any eBay dropshipping group, you guys can see all the posts. People are not making the money that they used to make. We have YouTubers switching over to other platforms, you know, jumping from eBay to Amazon, all types of buffoonery, right?
That's the truth.
It's the truth. Now, you guys don't have to believe me, but I'm pretty sure if you've been dropshipping on eBay, you have noticed.
So why is eBay dead? Why is eBay dying? What is wrong with eBay?
Too many sellers, not enough people buying. Now, granted, there's a lot of people buying on eBay. Okay, I'm not saying that people ain't buying on eBay, but you know, Amazon is coming to the space. Amazon is kicking butt. I mean, they did over 50% of online retail sales. That's a lot.
And over 50% of those were by you, third-party sellers.
By third-party sellers. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. There's a lot of speculation on why this is with eBay. Okay, there's some people are like, oh my God, eBay, they're flagging dropshipping accounts. Like, some people can verify, some people can't verify. You know, some are saying that there's just a shift, you know, between eBay with their, you know, retail arbitrage and then moving over to more like a private label brand. You know, no one really knows the real reason. You ask anybody, there's a million different things going on right now. But from what we've seen and what we've taught, you know, we've talked to our friends who are doing this, you know, big guys like Mark and Ecom Tom, all these guys really making that money on eBay. You know, it seems like dropship accounts are getting hit the hardest. Okay, it seems like eBay has something in their algorithm that's tagging them, and they're like, you know, this person's doing it. And now, granted, retail arbitrage on eBay is not against the terms of service. Like, they welcome that, actually. But it seems like they're hitting people. So, you know, people have been getting around this by creating new accounts, you know, doing all these things. There's been a lot of MCO11s, which is, you know, your account getting shut down. So people are just spinning up accounts one after the other, you know, obviously getting verified and doing all these things. And it's just been a big cluster, you know what.
And I remember when I first started, my first real e-commerce experience back in the day was, I was probably like 2003, 2004.
You're dating yourself, dude. Don't tell everybody how old or, I mean,
young
young we are.
How young I am. Yeah, you don't need to know how young
we are.
What I used to do is I used to actually take, like, you know, some old like computer parts and stuff that I didn't want to use anymore, and then I used to sell it on eBay. It was very, very easy to stuff, even car parts, old car parts, used car parts.
Super easy back in the day.
And now, and we saw this because we had an eBay store before we went to Amazon, before we made the shift to Amazon, they kept it around to kind of like peddle some old returns and stuff. But it literally is just, you have seen, it's been kind of like, you know, treading water a little bit, and now you're seeing it kind of sink. And it's nothing against the sellers. You know, it could be eBay change, like Rico said, eBay changing their model. If you look at Walmart, you know, ask you when you go through their application if you plan on drop shipping, and they ask you like 3 or 4 times. eBay maybe, you know, trying to go toward that model as well. You know, maybe clean up the slack and stuff like that. But I mean, it's it's definitely harder and harder and harder to sell. And if you can sell, the profit margins are
And then, I mean, the people that are selling, you know, that are you know, making money, kudos to you guys. You guys are making your money. You know, but for us, I'm not getting out of bed for 5% profit margins. No. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting out of bed for that. I'm not getting out of bed for 10%. You know, so I know you guys are seeing these big numbers, right? A lot of you guys are looking at the big eBay dropshippers, like, oh my God,
$500,000, $700,000 a month,
you know, or you know, my man did $100,000, $100,000.
Dude, it's all clickbait.
Yeah, or
they didn't make 100,000. They did 100,000.
5% profit margin in some cases, and guess what? There's big dudes. Like, Dropship Tyler even tell you he makes no money on the front end. Like, he has like an 8% profit margin, anywhere from 8 to 12%. You know, I mean, he's a multi-million-dollar seller.
A ton of money off of it.
He's a multi-million-dollar seller, so he makes his money. But for the average person, if you're not making, you know, $1.5 million, you know, a year, or doing that in revenue, like, you're really not making that much money. If you're selling, like,
you have to be able to afford that.
So break down the math one, because 5%, because they're like, oh, 5%, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But that's generally 5% is front and back end. So remember that. That's what your cashback credit cards, your eBay sites, all that stuff, like all that crap. But just explain to them that 5%, because they're like, oh, 5% isn't bad. But if you're doing, let's say, $50,000 a month, and your profit margin is just 5%,
$2,500.
Yeah, you have to come up with all that money. You have to have all that capital. Break it down, Dan Areno, because these people don't seem to understand. Not you people, but people that be asking.
Yeah, definitely not you, because you're watching this video.
Yeah, you guys are smart.
You're concerned citizens.
Yes.
But like, you look at it, like, you know, you see all these guys, and we get it all the time. Like, oh, I make $500,000, $700,000, $800,000 a month, and it's like, you're not making that money. You say you're making the money, but what you're doing is you're telling people that you are, which is a lie. You're selling that much product that aggregate. Let's say, for instance, like electronics, you're selling $1,000, $1,200 TVs 10 times over, and it's like, yeah, granted, all of that adds up, and you're going to make you're going to sell a ton of money. But when you ask these people what their profit margins are, it's like 5% on the front end, 5% on the back end. And
maybe
it's like, if you're lucky, in extreme cases, and that's still, you know what, you're still making, you know, decent money off that, but you got to be able to move that margin of product with ease, meaning that you have to beat everybody else, which usually comes down to price. And two, you got to be able to have money to support that. You got to be able to support that amount of sales.
Yeah.
Do you have a credit card like a Black Card with no credit limit? Do you have
an
Amex Platinum with you know, a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 credit limit or more? And it's like, the average person looking at e-commerce does not have that kind of cash flow. And if they do, fine, go for it. Go into retail arbitrage, do whatever you want, but you need to be able to sustain that type of momentum. That's a lot of money. And granted, 5-10%, like, horrible.
10% on $700,000 is a lot of money. It's $70,000 a month. Like, we're not saying that it's not a lot of money.
You're essentially peddling product for a supplier, for Target, for Walmart, for all of those.
What we're saying is, to do those numbers, you have to be exceptional. You have to have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of listings and tons of capital.
Yep.
So if you're not making any money on the front end, you know what the F that means? That means you have to cover all of your expenses, everything. If you're just breaking even on the front end and relying on cashback credit cards and rebates, you have to cover all that money, and a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have, you know, a credit limit of, you know, $50,000, $100,000. Like,
yeah, but you it's like one of those, like, one of the TVs you got there that costs, like, you know, $1,500, $2,000, and you sell 10 of those in a day.
Yep.
Where are you coming up with that money? You coming up with 20 grand? Do you have that on a credit card? Great. If you don't, what are you going to do? Like, you're screwed. You know.
And that's
just to make
and that's why eBay is
maybe
that's why eBay is, you know, tanking. That's why eBay is having issues right now, guys. Is because of those problems. That's why people are getting shut down. Is because they're coming up. They're like, oh, I got to pay my eBay fees. I have to pay this and this and this. Like, there's a lot that goes into, you know, retail arbitrage. You know, doing drop shipping by retail arbitrage. Yep. It is not as smooth sailing as people think it is. Everyone thinks that it's super easy. People got multiple accounts because they have to have them to make money. Like, if you have to have 5 or 6 accounts just to be able to make, you know, a decent living, you know, where you're like, all right, all my accounts added up, I make like 15%, 20%. Like, I'm not setting up.
The management of that would be.
They rely on software.
No, software.
Like, I'm sorry, but we all know you guys rely on software. You rely on VAs, like, and that's another thing, which, you know, why eBay dropshipping is trash. Why it's going by the wayside, because a lot of people, a lot of retail arbitrage guys, like, they don't know basic product research. Nope. Like, if we were to take
the software does everything.
Yeah, the software does it for them. Their VAs do it for them. Like, they're not even setting up a real business. Like, if I was to take any one of our students. Hell, I could take one of Kevin Davis' students because they at least know product research, and then take someone from, you know, from online retail arbitrage and was like, all right, guys, you guys are going to start a real brand. They'd be like, what?
What's a brand?
Huh? The retail arbitrage guys would be pooping on themselves because they wouldn't know what in the world to do. Like, they'd be like, I don't know how to do product research. At least these people know how to do product research to find products that are going to make them 30 to 50%. Whereas these people are like, I'll make 3%. I'm cool. And I've said it before. If you guys are concerned about like 1 or 2 percentage points, it's not for you. eBay dropshipping is dying. It's a dying. Granted, eBay dropshipping is going to be around for a while, guys. It's not like it's going to die tomorrow and you're never going to be able to sell anything. But I'd venture to say in 5 years, the landscape's going to have changed. changed. It's not going to be near what it is. It's going to be Amazon's kicking everybody's butt. There's going to be a bunch of private label brands, and the people that were making a ton of money on eBay, they'll still be making a ton of money on eBay. But the new guys, they ain't going to be making squat. They're going to be broke dick Danny.
Yeah, Amazon has the platform to support that many people coming in all at once or coming in over time. So it's just the right place to go and sell, and there's different methodologies and ways to actually make money with better profit margins and not have to go broke in the process. So that's all we're saying.
That's it. But I mean, maybe it'll help with eBay's new payment processing. Now that they're getting rid of PayPal and having their own in-house payment option, and maybe that'll help. That might help you guys' fees. So instead of making 4%, you guys will make 5%.
Yeah, maybe
even
that
6%.
1% will really, be the difference between you eating this month and retiring the next. I don't know. Yeah,
it might be the difference between them eating ramen noodles or, Easy Mac, but not retiring next month. I'm sorry, guys, man, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it, man. eBay dropshipping is not what you guys think it is.
Nope.
Check the forums. Ask the big guys what's going on. Yeah, it's taking a poop. That being said, man, make sure you guys check out the links below. You know what to do. We don't have to tell you. You already know how it goes. Be safe. Be smart. Peace.